It's Shakesyear, and we are back to it with King Richard II. Today we get to hear from Richard in Act 5, Scene 1. So fun stuff, or not fun, depending on whose angle you're looking at it from. Richard has been deposed, and he is being taken off to the tower to live out the rest of his days. And the queen was waiting for him, and when she saw him, she was like, "Oh, but you still look like a king, how sad." And he's like, "Yeah, aren't I sad?" And she's like, "You should be stronger than that." And he's like, "Yeah, no, things are just kind of bad all around." And she's like, "Buck up." And then Northumberland comes in, and Northumberland, wasn't that great? She doesn't actually say buck up, but that's the general sentiment of the whole thing. He basically eulogized himself yesterday, saying that he should have been like a king of lions instead of a king of humans, because then things would have been better. So then Northumberland and some other people come in, and they're like, change plans. He's going to Pomfret, and she's going back to France. And Richard says, "Northumberland, thou ladder wherewithal the mounting Bolingbroke ascends my throne. The time shall not be many hours of age more than it is, ere foul sin, gathering head, shall break into corruption. Thou shalt think, though he divide the realm and give thee half, it is too little, helping him to all. He shall think that thou, which know'st the way to plant unrightful kings, wilt know again, being ne'er so little urged another way, to pluck him headlong from the usurped throne. That love of wicked friends converts to fear, that fear to hate, and hate turns one or both to worthy danger and deserved death." So what Richard is saying here, he's sort of prophesying that even though Northumberland helped Bolingbroke become king, Northumberland isn't going to feel like whatever payment Bolingbroke gives him is going to be enough. And Bolingbroke, knowing that Northumberland helped usurp the throne, is going to be suspicious that Northumberland might try to usurp Bolingbroke's throne. So it's sowing the seeds of mistrust and fear and hate between the two of them, so they are going to fall apart. And Northumberland's like, she's going this way, you're going that way. And she's like, and both the king and queen at this point are sort of like, wait, what? No, that's not cool. And she's like, can't he just be banished and come to France with me? And they're like, no, that's not cool. And she's like, well, then I'll go to Pomfret with him. And they're like, nope, that's not happening either. So then the king and queen have sort of a very long, drawn out, let's part with a kiss, because it was a kiss that sealed us together in the first place, blah, blah, blah. And then presumably they kiss and they're taken off in their separate directions. And that is the end of Act 5, Scene 1. So tomorrow we'll get into Act 5, Scene 2, because we still have to figure out the aftermath of all of this stuff once Richard is no longer king. So tomorrow we'll get to check in with some of the other characters of the play when we figure out how all of this affected them. I'll see you then for that.